Okay, so what I've got for you here today is a demonstration as to how we can use Mango Map to examine areas for possible coffee shop locations, to plan territories in those areas based on the demographics, and to present those territories to a prospect or franchisee. Now the map on screen that you see here is of the Atlanta area in Georgia, and the areas in grey are outside the city, and the lighter areas where the population is, and that's where we're going to focus our analysis. The map's interactive. As you zoom in, you get more and more detail, place names, streets and so forth, and that provides the context for the mapping. The first layer that we've got on the map here are existing locations, and you can see that we've got a location up here in the north. If we click on that location, we can see the location name, the address, its status, in this case whether it's open or proposed, the population and the median income, and those demographic data points are within 2.5 miles of the address, 1750 Old Springhouse Lane. We can also see a graphic of that radius, which is 2.5 miles around that address. Now if we want to look at a new location nearby, if we've been given an address, for example 6300 Powers Ferry Road Northwest, Sandy Springs, or we can drop a pin at that location and mark it as proposed. We'll call it Sandy Springs and save. Now that we've pinned that location and marked it as proposed, we can examine it in terms of the distance to existing sites. And we can use our measure tool here to see how far it is. Okay, 6.5 miles, which is more than our 5-mile cutoff in this case. So we can keep looking at this site. And this map also has a layer of Starbucks locations which we can overlay. There is one nearby, but in this case we're not so concerned about those because we have a different offering. But it does indicate where people are gathering. It's a draw tenant to the area, and it's a good indicator that this area is worth further investigation. If we want to look at the demographics in the vicinity of that site, we've got a tracts layer here that's shaded by median income. So the areas in green have the highest income, and the areas in orange and red have the lowest income. So we're certainly in a high income area here. If I click on that tract, you can see that the median income is 177,000, and there's the population of that tract, and some other demographic data points. If we want to know precisely the demographics within a 2.5 mile radius, we can do that using our query tool, and we're just going to draw a circle here. Okay, 2.5 miles, and get results and generate report. We can see there's a population of 35,180 in that 2.5 mile radius circle, and there's the median income. Okay, so if we're now happy that that's looking like a good site, and we just want to mark a circle around that site to indicate its extent and where the territory is going to be. We can do that using our sketch tool. I'm going to create a new sketch called Sandy Springs, and I'm going to draw a circle around that site. And done. So now you can see that we've got our two circles around our two sites that are not overlapping. If we want to present this site to a prospect, we can do that. We can decide which layers we want visible on the map. Maybe we'll just have proposed locations and Starbucks locations. Income is optional as a layer to display, but we can go to print that map, and it'll put it on a page, which we can then print a PDF and send to the prospect. Okay, if we want to think a bit more broadly about what's going on in the city, maybe we've got a master franchise for Atlanta, and we want to have a conversation with them about the potential in the city. We can again use the same data layers to get an understanding of what the overall opportunity is. So if we switch on the Starbucks locations, switch on the tract locations, you can see that, and perhaps our own brand does better in higher income areas. What we can do is think about summarizing the population in the higher income areas, and that might inform us about how many sites and how many units this city might support. So again, using our query tool, if we draw a circle around the city, just to capture the main areas of the city, and we're going to set a median income cutoff of, say, 60,000, and then generate report. And it's going to tell us that there's a population of 3.9 million who have an income of more than 60,000. These are based on the tracts, so the median value for the tracts. So we can use these numbers to start to think about how many sites might be supported. Obviously these areas aren't contiguous, so it's just a general number, but it's a way of looking at the bigger picture across the city. Okay, so that's just a quick introduction to territory planning with the focus around sites, how we can look at the demographics around that site based on distance, whether that's 2.5 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, to look at anchor tenants, draw tenants in the vicinity of that location, to look at own store locations, how close they are, and to form a territory that we can present to a prospect and engage them in talking about the opportunity. Thanks for your attention today, and if you'd like to find out more, please visit us at franchise.mangomap.com.